In this video, we are going to talk about solving systems of equations using matrices, which is going to sound complicated at first, and if I made you do everything by hand, this would be complicated, but you are going to get to use your calculator. So if you can remember a few specific buttons, this problem or this process actually goes very, very smoothly. So what we need to do is we start with whatever matrix or whatever system of equations, and we're going to make a matrix. So in this case, we have three equations with three variables. The important thing is that we're able to identify that the variables are in the same locations. They have to be in the same locations. X first, Y second, and Z third is the typical way of doing it. But as long as you know where each thing is, you can be fine. So to make an augmented matrix, which sounds really, really fancy, I'm going to put a little dashed line here. The dashed line doesn't really exist, doesn't really mean anything, but it's where the equal sign is. So in my top row, I'm going to have 1, 3, -1, -11, where the 1 is the coefficient of the x, the 3 is the coefficient of the y, the -1 is the coefficient of z, and the -11 is the answer, is the equals constant. And I do that for each row. That's my augmented matrix. Okay, what this is showing us the same system of equations just without having to write all of those pesky variables. Everyone always complains about variables existing in math. Now we're just bringing it back to only numbers so nobody can complain anymore. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get to reduced row echelon form, which is a very, very fancy sounding thing. And if I made you do this by hand, you might hate me a little bit more, but this is going to go pretty easy on your calculator. So to do this on your calculator, you need to go to the matrix section. So you hit the blue button that says second, and then matrix, that's the blue lettering, above x to the -1st, x inverse. You're going to get a menu that says names, math, edit. You are going to have a list of 10 different matrices, A through J, I believe. Yep, A through J. You pick whichever one you want to mess with. It does not matter, but you have to scroll over to edit. I'm going to edit A. This is a 3x4 matrix. So you need to tell your calculator this is a 3x4 matrix. 3 rows, 4 columns. Now, once you get in there, you're going to actually put in this augmented matrix. So I've already gone ahead and typed to my calculator 1, 3, -1, -11. Make sure they are in the correct spots. Now this is important. You are going to need to quit out. So you're going to use second quit. You're going to need to use that multiple times. Anytime you're using things with matrices, you're going to need to go back to your main home screen, essentially. That's what this does. So now to get reduced row echelon form, I'm going to do second matrix again. I'm going to scroll over to math. And now I can either scroll down or scroll up. It really doesn't matter. Both get me there. I usually go up because it's faster. And I'm going to find RREF. It stands for reduced row echelon form. It's option B on this list, and I'm going to hit enter. That's just going to bring up RREF parenthesis. I now have to hit second matrix again, and on the names category, I'm going to hit enter on whichever matrix I used. So I used matrix A, which is the first entry, so I'm going to just hit enter right away, close my parentheses, and hit enter. It's going to give me this matrix: 1, 0, 0, 2, 0, 1, 0, -4, 0, 0, 1, 1. That is my reduced row echelon form. If it makes me feel any better, I can put this little dashed vertical line as well. What this tells me, I don't have to write this part, but what this tells me is that x plus 0y plus 0z equals 2. 0x plus y plus 0z equals -4. 0x plus 0y plus z equals 1, which if you kind of pick up what's happening right now, it's telling you exactly what those variables equal. So x is 2, y is -4, and z is 1. I'm going to write this as an ordered triple. 2, -4, 1. X, y, z. That's my answer. Those are my solutions. Remember, solutions just make all of the statements true. So if I plug 2 in for x, -4 in for y, and 1 in for z in any of those three equations, I will get a true statement. So like the first one, x plus 3y minus z, x is 2. 3y becomes -12, so 2 plus -12, well, that's -10, minus z, minus 1, is -11, which is what it's supposed to be. Wonderful. The second equation, 2 times 2 is 4, plus -4 gives me 0, plus 1 equals 1. Perfect. The last one is the most complicated. 5 times 2 is 10, minus 2 times -4 is 8, so I've got 10 plus 8 is 18, plus 3 times 1 is 3, so 18 plus 3 equals 21. That's my answer. This is going to be so much faster than having to graph and find where they all run into each other, or trying to solve by substitution and linear combinations, which is actually what's happening. That's how we get reduced row echelon form. It just, your calculator can do it a lot faster for you. All right. So I hope that helps. Have a great day, everybody.